Well, hello everyone. I hope everyone survived yesterday's freak show of an inauguration. I did not watch any of it, in fairness. I've seen news about it, I've seen pictures and maybe some video clips, but being in Germany, really wouldn't have been easy for me to watch it anyway, but I really had no desire to watch it. If you've been on my channel before, you already know that I despise Donald Trump. And it makes me very angry that he is president again. And I know that lots of people will laugh at me about it and tell me that I'll get over it or whatever else MAGA people do. Frankly, I have been blocking them left and right on social media, kind of reminding myself of my mom back in the 80s. Before people put flea preventative on dogs, when we used to have dogs when I was a child, and my mom would spend hours picking fleas off the dogs. and I think she actually really enjoyed it. It was very satisfying for her. Pretty gross, actually, but it was satisfying for her, I think. But that's kind of how I feel when I'm on, like, say, Facebook, which I'm not even sure how much longer I'm going to be on Facebook. When I see people laughing at things that are serious, or when they leave rude, snarky comments to people that are hurting and frightened, I just block them. I don't even give them the benefit of a response. And I will actually even admit to this. I sometimes will put a post on, say, Occupy Democrats or something, which for some reason a lot of the MAGA people like to hang out there and just troll people. I sometimes will just put something on there that says, I really enjoy blocking MAGA people. And invariably, there's a bunch of people who will respond to me. And I immediately block them. I don't even read what they write. I just block them. Because they don't need to be in my life. They have already proven. They don't have, we don't have anything in common, I guess is what I would say. That's the kind way of putting it. But I do have some good news. Sort of good news. I guess it's more neutral news. It depends on who you are, or whether or not you like this channel, but YouTube tells me that as of today, my channel is 16 years old. I think I actually got my account on YouTube in 2006, but I didn't put anything on it until 2009. And I distinctly remember the very first video, which is still available. It was a very, very short clip of a band that my husband and I saw in London, England. And we had gone to London through what is called a blind booking flight. We were living in Germany at the time, and Germanwings, which is now called Eurowings, offered a deal where you could pay for a plane ticket and you wouldn't know where you were going until you actually paid, and then you would find out. And ours was Stuttgart to London. And I hadn't been to London since the 70s. Actually, I lived in England when I was a little girl, and this was my first trip back to the UK. But it also was a very dramatic MLK weekend because we had discovered that my husband's former stepson, who had been calling my husband dad and taking child support from him, even though he was 21 years old, his mother had his name changed. I don't think she had the right to do it, but when he was a toddler, she had his name changed. And it was my husband's name. And then we discovered that he was changing it, and he never told my husband about it. He just kept accepting money from him. $850 a month. for a 21-year-old. And, my husband tried to prompt him to tell. I mean, we found this out by accident, actually, but he prompted him to tell him what he was doing, but he never did. And what actually happened was we decided to go to England, and before we left, my husband cut off the child support. And, just to get his attention. We came back from London and there was this panicky email. Where's my money? It's like, I usually get my money by now. Where is it? 21 years old. And just to be clear, my husband was never legally his father. My husband was not legally, he did not adopt him. My husband's ex-wife changed the guy's name somehow when he was little. And my husband just treated him as if that was his son. And when he decided to change his name back and didn't tell him, but was still taking the money, we decided to visit him with a little karma. I mean, unfortunately, that did end up being the end of their relationship. It was rather dramatic. Took some time, but they're not speaking anymore. Besides, when the divorce happened, my husband's ex-wife she also tried to get him to bond with his second stepfather, who was her third husband. So anyway, messed up story. Don't really need to talk more about it, but that did happen that weekend that I went to London and I filmed that band. And it was, I remember, a very angsty, fun weekend, but we were very anxious that weekend. And I would say that this past weekend was similar because we were in Switzerland, we had a good time, but the whole time we're worried about this inauguration and what's to come. And yet we did have a marvelous time. Again, we have a lot to be grateful for. I think I will make a song today. It will not be a parody song because I don't have the time or the energy right now. But I do have a song in mind that I think will fit the situation. So if you're interested, be on guard for that, or be on the lookout for that. And I hope that everyone is taking it easy and taking a deep breath, and somehow we'll get through this mess. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much for listening. See you next time.